the Prime Ministers Summit with all the Nordic Prime Ministers today. It's interesting, of course, to see a majority of the Nordic Prime Ministers are women, and he's now left Denmark, heading for France, where he will be the first foreign leader to meet French President Macron after his re-election. So, Vishnu, what's really the highlights of the Nordic Summit?
Very young women leaders as well, some under 40, one of them 44 years of age. So very young leaders over there that the Prime Minister engaged in. But this is interesting because in perhaps the sharpest criticism of the war in Ukraine, in a multilateral setting, as you can see the Prime Minister meeting several leaders, India has joined the Prime Ministers of Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Finland and Denmark in unequivocally condemning civilian deaths in Ukraine. At the same time, Delhi has stopped short of outright condemning the unlawful and unprovoked aggression against Ukraine by Russian forces. So, Delhi threading a fine line, but progressively being more critical of the role of Russia in the invasion of Ukraine. So let me explain how. The joint statement says, the Nordic Prime Ministers, not India, reiterated their strong condemnation of the unlawful and unprovoked aggression against Ukraine by Russian forces. As you can see, India is not mentioned here, even though this is a joint statement, just the Nordic Prime Ministers, but India's name not here. However, India does join the Nordic leaders in, let's just bring up the next point, in stating, and this is also there, that they unequivocally condemned civilian deaths in Ukraine. They reiterated the need for an immediate cessation of hostilities. They emphasized that the contemporary global order has been built on the UN Charter, international law, respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. Again, it's interesting that India should mention the UN Charter, they should mention territorial integrity, but at the UN itself, India never voted against Russia on issues pertaining to Ukraine. So India again continues to thread a fine line on its Ukraine policy. It boils down to a choice of just a few words.
Thanks so much, Vishnu.